cannot quit. So I come to speak to you, speak life in you today. You cannot quit. Miss Amanda, I don't care what's going on, you can't quit. Fred, I don't care what's going on, you cannot quit. Mother Margaret, God has spared you this far. You cannot quit now. You can't give up now. From the book of Philippians, the 1st chapter. Philippians, the 1st chapter, starting at the 3rd verse. And I'm just going to read 3 passages of scriptures. And it says, I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now, being confident of this, that he who has begun a good work in you still will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. You cannot quit. That's what he's saying. God has started something in you. You cannot quit now. Why can't you quit? Because it is not in your DNA. What do you mean? God says, I knew you from your mother's womb. God says, in the beginning, he created man in the image of him. If God didn't give up on you, you can't give up on yourself.
Amen. Amen.
You cannot quit. We work a job for years and years and retired. Why? Because we didn't quit. We've had sickness, we've been healed, and we kept going. Why? Because we didn't quit. We've been through relationship, we've been through hardship, some been tough, some been rough, but you made it through because you did not quit. Your circumstances you thought was going to take you out. They told you about your blood disease. You thought that was the end. But you still here. Why? Because you did not quit.
Amen. Amen.
Our money get funny, but we don't quit. We don't see a way out. We can't feel a way out. We don't even know which way out. But guess what? We never quit. Our car get repossession and I have gotten repossession, but I didn't quit.
Amen.
Some people have lost their houses, but they didn't quit. People have laughed at you, talked about you, did everything against you, but you didn't quit. People have thrown you out and thought you was down, but you didn't quit. When I look at DNA, your DNA says, do not allow it. Why? Because God is for you. And the Bible says, if God is for you, who can be against you?
Amen. Amen.
In the medical term, a DNA says, do not resuscitate. In other words, when your heart stops, or if your heart stops, it says, let it go. That means it quit. Your heart stopped. You and I know that our heart is the motor of our body. Our brain can stop, but as long as the heart keeps going, the body keeps going.
Amen.
In the urban term, DNA says, do not answer. You know, sometimes that's what we have to do to people. We just can't answer them. Because some people are stupid and don't know they're stupid.
Amen. Amen.
That is true.
In the internet, it says, do nothing at all. But if we do nothing at all, we will falter. We will fade away. So talk to yourself and say, I'm not going to quit.
I'm not going to quit.
I'm not going to quit. You're more than that. Do not allow it. Philippians 1:6 says, being confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
In other words, God sees your every step,
Mhm.
through every situation and in every issue. If he has not given up on you, why have you given up on yourself?
Amen.
As long as you have breath in your body, God didn't allow you to quit.
No, he didn't.
Some people can go to sleep and don't wake up. It does not mean that they didn't quit. It meant that their time has come. But if God woke you up, that means he's saying, don't quit.
Mhm.
Don't give up. Don't give in. Why? Because God is in control of everything. This morning I was on the way to church and the light was green as I got off of 340. And just as I was coming down the road, the devil was fighting me. Just as I was on the road, the wind was so high that it was pushing the car off the road.
Mhm.
Then when I get to 340, the light green and the incoming is red. So I'm going through the green light and here comes a Jeep. He just flies right through the red light.
Mhm.
But because I didn't quit, God had already told me it was going to happen before it happened. Because God told me, said, be careful when you go through this light.
Mhm.
How many of you have been in a situation where God had already warned you before you got there and tell you it's going to happen?
Amen.
So do not allow it. Sometimes we got to speak to ourselves. Sometimes we got to encourage ourselves. Sometimes we got to realize that God is in control. How do we know? Because he said, I have the plans for your life.
Mhm.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. God is in control. He says that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, then I will heal their land.
Mhm.
In other words, we've got to do our part. We can't quit. We've got to stop and say, you know what? I know I'm wrong, but let me ask for forgiveness. If my people would seek me, they will find me. Can you seek him if you quit? No. So we can't quit. If we look at the story of Joseph, how he was, brothers was jealous of him. They put him in a pit. They sold him. Then after he got to the potter's house, he got put in jail for something he didn't even do.
Mhm.
But what happened? Because he didn't quit, he went from the jailhouse, as we said, to the White House. But I think we're going to have to find another word for that now, because the White House ain't such a good place to be.
Mhm.
So we'll just say from the jailhouse to the big house. What about that?
Amen.
Okay.
So we got to tell ourselves that we can't quit. We can't quit because we will not allow it. Another reason why you can't quit is because people will assume things about you that you don't even realize what they assume. But even not quitting, I can't look at you and assume something about you because I don't know you. What do you mean? Do not assume that where you are. Do not assume that where you have been. Do not assume that this is your permanent situation. If we look at our situation now, we want to quit.
Mhm.
But we got to realize this is just a temporary situation. Why? Because the Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Your mind is going to allow you to quit or go on. That's why I used to hear my aunt say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Amen. Amen.
So we have to know that we have to make up our mind to move on, to go on, and to get on with our life. We can't quit. The Bible says that long suffering is a fruit of the Spirit. But it did not mean that you just stay there in a miserable situation. My granddaddy used to always say, if you want to go to town, you got to get up and go. In your situation, situation, if you want to move, you got to get up and do it. You can't quit. You can't have pity on yourself. You can have pity on yourself. I've had pity on myself. But we can't stay there. We got to keep going. When I think about do not assume, I think about a dog. You know, some people got a little dog. Every time you see the little dog, the mailman comes. A little piece of limb hit the ground. And sometimes you want to say, why don't he just shut up? Somebody come to the door. They said, boo, he wrong. In other words, you got to learn how to bark less and wag more. You know, some of the dogs will come around and smell you and see what you're about, but they won't say nothing. But they'll sit there and they'll watch you. Yes. And you assume that this is a good dog. But if you mess with that dog, you'll find out he wasn't such a good dog. What do you mean? Sometimes you got to let people assume things about you.
Amen.
You got to let people think, I ain't paying you no attention. But if you bother me, see, sometimes now, I ain't gonna lie. We all holy. But every once in a while, they go out the window. So y'all just got to keep praying for me, okay? Because people will run over you. People will assume that you are what you're not. A lot of people get me confused because I tell them all the time, are you going to do this? You know, you're a preacher and what you say and I can run over you. But sometimes I got to tell them, whoa, step back now.
Amen. Sometimes
you got to put people in their place. Why? Because people will assume something about you that is not true. We all look like we got $1 million. But if you check my bank account, I can't find 1,000,000 pennies. I can't find 100 pennies.
Amen.
But people will assume that about you.
Amen.
So don't be moved by what you see in your situation. It's just temporary. But just don't give up. Do not quit. Why? Because I told you before, if you're going through a problem and you let it linger for 7 days, it's either going to leave you or you're going to leave it. If you got a past due bill, they'll call you next 7 days. They done went on about their business. I done got something else going on.
Amen.
So you cannot quit. Also, you got to realize you can't quit because you're not going to allow it. Because you're not going to assume. And then again, you got to remember the daytime, nighttime, or anytime. I'm not quitting. Why am I not quitting? Because God says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. He said, daytime, nighttime, or anytime. I'm not going to leave you, nor am I forsake you. You cannot quit because God says, I am not going to go back on my promises. Daytime, nighttime, or anytime.
Amen.
God says, I am the author of confusion. When? Daytime, nighttime, anytime. How do you know? Because the Bible says we can call on him 24/7. And if we can call on him 24/7, he's going to answer us. When? Daytime, nighttime, anytime.
Amen.
Some people think, well, I've got to just call on him in the morning or call on him. No, God says, I am a God. I am the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That means daytime, nighttime, or anytime. How many of you have been sick in the daytime and you called on God and he healed you? How many times called on God in the evening time and he healed you? How many called on God anytime and he healed you even when nobody else was there for you?
Amen.
So you cannot give up. Why? Because daytime, nighttime, or anytime, God is not too big about your problems. Daytime, nighttime, anytime. Your problems are never too little for God. Daytime, nighttime, anytime. God says, I am an unjust God. God does whether it's daytime, nighttime, or anytime. What else we know about God? That God is too weak. God is not weak. God will not lie. Stop every day and look at the size of your God. Sometimes you got to look at your problems and you got to introduce them to Jesus. Look, just about financial problem, I want to introduce you to Jesus. Why? Because Jesus said that I got everything you need. He said, I own a house on 1,000 hills. He said, I own you. I love you. I formed you. I made you. So you got to remember, don't quit now. You're too close to the end. Amen. You're too close to the goal. Don't quit now. Don't stop now, because if you stop now, you miss the mark. And when you miss the mark, God got to come right back behind you and help you get back to the mark. So don't stop. Don't give up. Don't give in. Why? Because God is with you daytime, nighttime, and anytime. And I'm going to tell you this little story, and then I'm going to sit down. It was said that the taxi driver, this man, he started driving a taxi. And it was his first day on the job. And the man was in the back. And the man touched him to ask him a question. And when he touched him, the cab driver ran off the road. And he said, I didn't mean to disturb you. He said, but you driving the cab, and you've never been this way, and I've never been this way, so I thank you for the scenery. And the cab said, no, don't you apologize to me. I should be apologizing to you. You have to realize today is my first day on the job. I used to be a mortician and used to nobody touching me on the shoulder and saying something to me. So don't assume because things look like what they are, you can quit. No, you can't quit. You got to keep on going. You got to keep on trying. You got to keep on knowing that everything that you need is in your hands. Why? Because God says, I gave you the power. If you're going to be more like me, if you're going to be more like Jesus, you got the same power he got. How is that? Because he said, whatever we speak will come to pass. He said, ask and it shall be given to you. He said, if you seek, you shall find it. So don't stop here. I stopped by to tell you, don't stop here. You cannot quit. You are too close to the goal. You are too close to the finish line. And a lot of times people say, well, why do I have to quit? No, it ain't for you. It's for me. Amen. So see, I'm not going to quit for me. Now you can quit because you want to quit. And then when you quit, you stay out there in the world. But I ain't going to quit for me. I'm going to keep on going. Amen. So today, look at your neighbor and tell them, don't give up. Don't give up. And don't quit. Don't quit. Amen. 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 Amen.